Welcome to the good fight, everybody.
Happy 6 p.m. Welcome to the good fight.
I'm MC.
Moon emoji. That's an important
Moon
lesson.
emoji.
And,
That's Miss Moon emoji to you.
and we will be guiding you on a magical adventure known as the Good Fight Podcast, Episode 5.
We have a couple of announcements before we really get rolling. So swearing is now allowed on the podcast episode, specifically within reason. Rebel Penguin Federation episodes did not include that because it's against their rules, but because this is a more general podcast about Minecraft div where swearing is allowed, we're going to, within reason. We're going a little wild, and we might throw out the occasional frick.
I will absolutely abuse this.
I promise to be as nice as possible. Moondog, we'll see. But,
I may shut him down many a time. It's fine.
I do let you know.
I shall abuse my powers to escape.
But, with the obligatory, this may happen now, viewer discretion may potentially be advised. So, if you're not okay with the frick fracks, I do apologize. But that
just so you all know. Also, you guys know that Rocket is here. You can hear him. And this will be his first full episode hosting with me. As like his own specific co-host, not just third wheeling me in chaos like last time.
I third wheeled pretty hard, but it was okay. But I'm here now.
You did really good.
Thank you. I appreciate that. MC Moon emoji.
We have to give Rocket a last name because I can't just say you're welcome, Rocket. That's not it. I need
2 syllables
else.
is too much. Goodness.
Ain't it?
Rocket emoji.
Access denied. We will make some creative brainstorming on the fly throughout this broadcast. A cart can't start without a third wheel rocket. That is going to be my graduation quote. Thank you very much. Perfect.
The next thing is that there's going to be a new flow to this podcast. We used to do like segments with RPF, and we might stick with that like for RPF specific podcasts, but for now, this one is going to be more free flow. There aren't any segments. It's just conversation. We do have some stuff like prepped, and we'll try to do some unmuting possibly, but right now it's all very free flow. Keep an eye on your DMs in case we DM you and ask you for voice recording permission.
It would be really cool to hear from some people in the MC division as we get talking about stuff. That'd be pretty awesome.
Yeah. What if we ended up unmuting Bill? That would be a blast.
Nope. Sorry.
Yeah. I know.
It's not in here.
That's a Minecraft division joke.
Minecraft division joke. Way to alienate our audience, Moon. That's a great start.
Oh my god. Someone just made the PSA really big in the script.
Where is Bill? This is important.
Who did that?
Yep.
Who are you? Me, I did. Is that Pookie?
He's writing in Comic Sans. Do you expect something? Yeah.
Pookie wrote the PSA really big in Comic Sans.
Very good.
Before we talk about Comic Sans, we're going to also say that this podcast episode might be shorter than the other ones because, again, we're trying things differently.
A chode-sode, if you will.
It's not a chode-sode. It's a full episode. We're just making it a half hour shorter. I'm so mad at you.
If you will.
The lack of segments makes this more free flow, and time is up to interpretation because reality can be whatever I want. But yeah.
Also, there was some conversation about how an hour is a bit long.
An hour and a half is a bit long. Most podcasts are about an hour.
You say you think this is going to be a chode-sode, but really with the more...
It's not a chode-sode.
Short.
Why are we still saying that word?
I hate it.
Because I like
I'm angry. I'm angry at this one.
You need to be stopped.
Cool,
silence this man.
I do. I do.
No, I don't prefer that either, Ray.
Ray, I dislike that more heavily.
No, Ray.
What's a chodezilla?
Let's not Let's not.
Yeah, let's just
Alright.
no. Let's just nope. And are you guys done with your announcements? Do you have anything else to say?
Um,
I'm just saying,
the
please
PSA,
continue.
Rocket. Take the PSA.
Yes, Rocket.
is
not that one. I don't know why he put that one.
yeah.
Pookie put
Okay.
question mark
Well,
afterwards.
confusing. All right.
Why?
Well,
While Rocket tries to figure out whatever mess Pookie made, please write on chat #blame Pookie if you can. We're just
I'm
gonna
gonna hop on that bandwagon while we're at it. But something important, and I think this is a really good thing to talk about because it's a general life thing. Be open to change, and I'm not just reading that. That's on the text. But life is a very interesting episode.
This is not. Why are we doing this PSA? That's not the right PSA.
It is
but
the PSA.
it's also good advice.
I think it is. MC, I think no, regardless of what's going on.
He's literally typed it in all caps right next.
All right, Pookie has decided to derail my life therapy.
Look,
don't mine at night.
I said I was gonna derail this episode.
All right.
Didn't
Well,
even have
in that case, I'm gonna stop talking therapy.
This is what Pookie's typing.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Let everyone. This is important. Mining at night is a crime, and it's not only just for your safety, but for the safety of others. Mining at night is a travesty, and you will be attacked by all sorts of mobs or mobiles, and you could lose all your stuff. And that's just it's reckless. You're endangering others. Did
Pookie write that?
Yes.
Because when you're deep underground, it doesn't matter if it's night or day. It's dark enough for monsters to attack you anyway. Guys, PSA: take torches with you. Take torches with you. That's it. Just
put them in your
Pookie doesn't know what he's saying. Yeah. You can use your offhand. If you got shaders, then it will just illuminate your path as you walk. It's amazing. And that's it. Just don't listen to Pookie ever.
You're being safe though. You're being safe though. I would, go at night. Honestly, at this point, because if you're you're out on the outside, mobs can get you from any angle. But if you're in a cave, you're isolated, you're protected. All you got to do is place a few blocks down, and you're good. But yeah, so
this is awful advice, and this PSA was a failure. Moving on.
I wanted to talk about change, but okay.
That's fair. We should have talked about change.
I was until you derailed me by derailing me with Pookie's derailment.
This whole podcast is just going to be derailment. That's like the new topic is derailment.
And that is what makes it cool.
Yeah.
All right. We do need to keep moving though. So how about we do some introduction?
Yeah, let's just I don't know, make an actual good introduction.
Yeah. So first, we're not starting with Moon. Let's talk about.
No, we're not.
We're not starting with Moon. We're going to talk about Redd.
Hello.
Redd, it's good to hear your voice. Who's that?
Cassie.
Is Cassie talking about Redd or Rocket?
Who do you think she's talking about?
I'm far from a boomer, but yeah, if you don't know Redd is an Art Rebel Federation admin overall and a former leader of the Rebel Penguin Federation. Redd, when were you active as a leader?
Of RPF?
Yeah, of RPF.
That would be a solid 6 years ago, 2013.
Wow. And what was the RPF like in 2013 when I was way too young?
There were a lot less young children around back then. No doubt about that. But, it was at a weird transitional period when most of the people in it were kind of in their mid to late teens. And then we started seeing a younger audience come online. So I would say that it's probably the first year that RPF began to look like what it is now.
What were the big differences in terms of how you interacted? I know you didn't interact on Discord because Discord wasn't around. How was first of all, what was the thing that you used, and how was that in terms of leading?
Well, it was a good old online chat room called Xat, spelled Xat. I don't know
That's
how.
spelling.
Yeah, well, people pronounce it differently, but I say Xat because that's the correct pronunciation. And it wasn't much different to Discord. Discord's a lot nicer because you have the ability to make channels and whatnot. There were no roles. You had 3 positions. You were either a member, a moderator, or an owner. And that's kind of how the current structure of ranks was born because of the chat room ranks. So now you have the member ranks, mod ranks, and HCOM and RPF. That's where it came from.
Would you say that that's more effective by simplifying it like that, or do you think that the complexity of ranks gives more depth to the server?
I think that the ranks were always a part that made people interested in it. You know, the ability to move your way up through the ladder was always.
How'd you get your name, Redd?
I don't remember.
You really don't?
No, I don't.
You're so adamant that you be the only Redd, and yet here you are, and you don't even know how you got it.
I think I've just had it forever. It just came to me one night. An angel whispered it into my ear.
Redd with an extra D?
That must have been where it came from.
It's a very complicated name.
Because I honestly don't remember where the name came from.
Did it correlate? Weren't you Redd Gush or something?
That was a name that I used in RPF, but I was called Redd before that.
So was that your penguin name as well?
So what are you saying penguin for? Yeah, it was.
I'm sorry, is that triggering?
That's very triggering. I thought we were talking about Minecraft.
I'm here to get to the root of your past, actually. I'm trying to learn more about you.
Very threatening.
But in that same vein, what caused your transition from penguin people to Minecraft Div King?
That transition happened a long time ago, actually. I mean, the Minecraft divisions obviously are not a lot newer. So I left the whole CP scene probably 6 years ago. I stuck around and followed the community around because, you know, it was always a pretty cool thing. But I don't know. I started helping out as, I guess you'd say, what did they used to call the incom in the first version of the Rebel Federation. And then I always had the idea of starting a Minecraft division because I played the game at the time and I thought it would be fantastic for a new division.
What is incom?
Oh, you weren't around back then, were you?
None of us were.
I was not, and many people weren't.
Oh my god.
Yeah, we're all new.
Knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah, we're both very new.
Well, we can just skip past that part because it's kind of sketchy.
That's a whole different. No, guys, that's a whole different episode.
We don't need to go over that.
It's also a very long story. The whole.
Oh, that sounds interesting. We'll have to do that one day.
Well, then, if that's a rabbit hole, what about your role as king in the MC division?
What about it?
What kind of things do you do as a king? You know.
Well, usually I sit in my throne and have very, very large grapes fed to me as I'm fanned with palm tree leaves.
Red or green?
Are you kidding? Oh, grapes. Well, usually purple grapes. They're better. I don't like
green grapes.
Sorry, what?
You guys are insane.
Nah, he's right.
I'd take either.
Okay, but more important question, who's feeding you grapes?
Typically it's
Bill.
Moondog.
It's Moondog. Wait, hold on.
I thought it was Bill.
Right?
He doesn't even know what you're talking about.
No, that's the thing. I just disguise Bill as myself while I go do stuff on the seat of House Lee.
This got more complicated.
That made less sense.
There's very complex lore, yes.
Very complex lore.
There's a lore to Minecraft. There's a story.
We'll have to talk about Minecraft Div's lore. In addition, okay, but like seriously, Redd, what do you do as Minecraft King?
Most of what I do, right now it's mostly management. You know, we have a couple councils that we can touch on later and what they do exactly, but most of my time, what I do in the Minecraft division is managing the people who implement the ideas. So, you know, we'll talk about implementing a feature such as the great houses, which we'll get to in a bit. And so I'll lay out a plan for that, and then I'll talk to the councils about it, and then we'll see how we can make it happen. But early on in the division, I was doing a lot of hands-on things, you know, Tessa had a nice meme that she made. She's not here, but I think that Pookie, could you find that? It's pinned in our memes channel.
Pookie, could you go find that, please?
But early on, it was a lot of hands-on stuff in-game, making the plans work. But now it's just mostly a management position.
So the day-to-day activities of King sound organizational-based and fun. Oh, there it is. Is it?
Yep, that's it. That summed up the first few months.
Redd is carrying the div as we speak.
I love the officers and lieutenants just watching from afar. Are there any fun facts about yourself that we can get from you, Redd, while we have you here?
Fun facts. Cassie, I think you had a question.
Cowboy with
this year
7 O's.
I'm going as a cowboy for Halloween, and you should see the facial hair that I've got going on right now.
I would love to personally see that.
I don't know the picture of it right now, but it's pretty fucking fantastic.
I explicitly said he shouldn't do it, but
I think you were prompting me to do it the entire night.
I was not. I told you not to do it.
Well, it looks good either way. There you go.
Are you sure? You did. You expressed a regret to me later on.
No, it's great. I'm loving it.
In love with it. Moondog, how do you feel about the facial hair? That's actually more important considering your guys' relationship.
Yes, it tickles me when we kiss. And, that's the extent of it.
Sure does.
Okay.
Moondog and Redd relationship is something we should touch on later as well.
Yes.
Competitive, but loving and caring.
Very
special.
cute.
Very special. Oh,
Moondog, you are now the new focus of our attention, I think.
Nice. I love being the focus of attention.
I know. That's why I gave you this moment.
Yes.
Please welcome Moondog. He is a admin of the Rebel Federation and an Archduke on the Minecraft division. Please, a polite and quiet round of applause. There we go. That's an appreciation for Moondog. Moondog, when did you lead in your old RPF days?
Funny thing you say that. I never properly led RPF. I had the position of leader for 3 or 5 days once in 2015. And that's pretty much it.
Longer than me. But,
Moon got the short stick a lot.
Explain?
You do tell.
He always makes it right below the leadership position. He never quite gets there.
Honestly, it's where I excel. No, really. Just to summarize what happened, I had been basically just being the absolute best person in RPF for all of 2015 because, I'm awesome. Also, everyone else just sucked ass, so it was pretty easy to be good in comparison. But I got to
it's a very aggressive opinion.
Yes,
that was very narcissistic.
Thank you. Anyway, I made it to second in command. Then Twitchy was leader. He was busy with school, so he said, "Hey, I'm gonna promote you." And then this other girl called Cloud, we don't talk about her. He promoted us, and then Mikey just came back 5 days later and said, "Nope, I'm the leader now," and demoted us. So yeah, I just didn't even get to do anything.
Shout out to Mishka's great joke saying that Elm was actually the shortest lead.
Big funny.
Get it? It's funny because he was short.
Oh god, not that again, Pookie.
RPF UK 2014. That's a long time.
Okay, so Pookie apparently
get that picture out of here. We're talking about the Minecraft division tonight.
just a quick thing. Pookie found that picture. Apparently, I'm in it. You can see I'm in it. But that's the thing. I was never in RPF during 2014. And I'm not even in the UK. Right? I always attended just US events. Never UK.
So
I was in RPF in
just
2015. Yeah, I don't know how Pookie found that.
probably-
He just did witchcraft or something.
No, you probably forgot about it. You probably went to one
Absolutely.
random event.
I didn't. I'm sure of it.
Are you sure though? Because that was in 2013 and it's 2019 now.
No, that was 2014. Yes, I'm sure. I'm
That's
absolutely sure.
still
Yes.
5 years ago.
I have an infallible memory. Will not be
Okay.
disrespected like this.
Is it half a decade strong? I thought not.
We just wanted to identify Moondog as someone to the RPF peeps that are listening in right now.
Yes, hello. I am big hot mess. I shouldn't be where I am. I have way too much power.
He previously led back in the day, and he was a great leader, even though it was for a short time. And yeah.
Yes.
The other thing, so how'd you get your name? Because you're Moondog right now, but you were Pizza Ninja before.
Yes, I was. Basically I just got on back to Club Penguin after a lot of time. I don't know if you guys know this. Every so often, Club Penguin would delete all accounts that weren't used. So I lost the account I had from 2007, and I had to create a new one, right? And I was like, no, I actually just want a name that I wouldn't have to put any numbers on, something that's just really unique. And that was the whole thing. I didn't even care about it being good or anything. No, I just wanted to be unique. So I thought about some stupid, dumb stuff. I remember one time I stole pizza from my friend. So I said, oh, it's kind of like a ninja thing. So, yeah, so Pizza Ninja, I guess. And it was the worst decision I ever made in my life because I just stuck with that name for like many years.
I cherish that. That is a cherishable memory.
It's always quite confusing because I'll hear people go, oh, pizza this, and I'll be like, that's Moondog. Can you not?
Yes, I feel the same way. I want to forget that name.
And Mishka's raising some good points in chat. Who's Vanilla Soft Boy? Boy with an I.
Yes, no, Vanilla Softboy is just, I thought it was really funny, so I just use that as my tag anywhere. So, like, in Discord, mainly, my tag you see is Vanilla Softboy, and my name is Moondog. And on Twitter, too, my tag is Vanilla Softboy, and my name is Moondog. I just think it's really funny. I just think the words Vanilla Softboy are really funny, and that's it. That's the end of it.
Yeah,
Pookie, can we get a plug for Moon's Twitter page? He
I
releases
do art, guys.
tons-
Yes.
he does beautiful art.
tons
It's
of
not
lovely
beautiful.
art.
It's just nice.
Are you doing Inktober, perhaps?
Yes, I am doing Inktober.
You heard it here, folks. Moondog is doing Inktober. Plug for him in
I
chat.
am indeed.
His art is really good. Highly recommend. He drew a couple of our D&D characters, and I'm completely in love with Drew Mine.
His art
Oh
is,
yeah,
his art is all
I have to
really good.
eventually finish those. Right.
That would be nice.
Imagine finishing D&D stuff.
Pookie, can you fucking not?
Hi, I'm Moondog. I mostly do traditional art here, although sometimes I try my hand at digital. These are a few of my latest drawings.
Why are you
Is that your
deleting them?
bio?
Just keep them.
Pookie, is that your bio?
Who's deleting them? Why did you get
Nice.
rid
So
of it?
we can continue.
Oh, sure.
We can. So,
Yes.
when did you make the big old leap from the Rebel Penguin Federation to the MC Div?
Oh boy. To the MC div this year, literally.
I would
But
assume it.
yeah.
I'd assume it was when the division was created because he was around for the creation of it.
Right. So if you just want like a little backstory, during the last, some of you may know there has been 3 attempts to make RF, to transform RPF into RF. In the first one, I was part of the high command of RPF. I tried to yeet away the Rebel Federation that one time. I was stupid. On the second attempt, I was part of Incom, and that didn't go well. But that's when conversations about a Minecraft thing really started, as Redd mentioned. Redd and Commando made a server called Island Wars, if I remember correctly, which I'm told was very fun. I didn't actually own Minecraft at that point. I played, don't tell anyone, on a hacked launcher. So yes, please. I know I'm a criminal and an urchin,
Yeah.
so I wasn't
I'm a
allowed.
criminal.
Scandalous, you
I
crustacean.
wasn't allowed into Island Wars, but I'm told it was very fun. And then when
Go back for a
Minecraft-
second. Why was
Yes.
it called Island Wars?
So Commando just was obsessed with the idea of having a big sea and a bunch of islands that would. Yes.
How about we get away from Commando for a bit? Because I'll tell you a little secret about Commando. When he
Yes.
comes online, and he talks big and he says, "Ooh, I've got an idea." He doesn't implement that idea at all. It's everybody else that makes it happen. Let me give you a little information about Island Wars server. Go ahead, Moon. Sorry.
No, little segment. This is a little segment, Drag Commando. So, right, so he just gets here, reveals one previously unknown feature our site has. So, our site all along has been able to do the badges we have now. He just didn't think it was good to tell us until last time he came. And, he just does that, comes here, hey, the site can do this, let's implement it. And then he does that and disappears for 6 months. But, I guess he's still fun to be around. I shouldn't. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. I love it when we drag Commando.
Yes, he's a cool dude. Just a little bit of a hassle to work with. Although most of us in the administration are a hassle to work with. So
anyway,
especially me.
Especially
you're great, Moon.
You're precious. We love you.
So you switched from RPF to Emcee because you were involved in its creation.
Right, I was.
The Island Wars server happened.
Island Wars server happened. I couldn't participate. I was very sad about that. But then when RF 2.0 failed, things went back to RPF. I wasn't around for that. I was just kind of a veteran. And then RF 3.0 happened, which she said, hey, come on, I want you in because I don't know. And so I came on, and Redd and I and a few more people wanted to make a Minecraft division. So I finally bought the game, and we started it. Basically, just the idea happened.
Bless. What rank were you at that point? You and Redd?
In what?
In RF, we were just admins, right?
In Minecraft Div.
Well, we started as
we
King
created it, man. What are you talking about?
So you guys started as King as Archduke.
So it was, I think, back in December when we started it, or was it a bit after that? Moon. It was either late 2018 or early 2019 when it first began.
And, actually, I think we started building the site and stuff in late 2018, and then we released it in early 2019. That might be it.
Cassie or Pookie, can one of you get a picture of all the ranks in Minecraft Dip for those who've never been in there?
And actually, while they're pulling up that image, why don't one of you tell us about how the rank system works in Emcee Div and how it's different and how it might be similar?
I mean, similarities, pretty straightforward, is a rank system. And basically, it works pretty much the same in practice as the Club Penguin one, except we have cooler names based on medieval stuff,
to tell you the truth, Minecraft is, it's based on the fact that you fight with swords and bows. It's much more of a medieval time period than, I guess, what RPF runs with. They go kind of modern, right?
Yeah, more spy vibe.
Militant.
What about command blocks?
Sure.
Yeah, that's medieval.
Oh, we don't do any of that garbage.
Yeah. What is a bard? I just noticed this.
Bard. Okay. That is
yeah.
That's a D&D class.
No, it's a class in D&D, but basically it's just a musician. Kind of just useless in an army.
Yeah. So a bard is someone who'd, for a king or just in a tavern, they would learn how to play an instrument of the old day, and they had a nice voice, and they'd wander into the tavern and play some music for the tavern goers or for the king. And we needed some sort of rank. Sorry.
I'm sorry. The only person with this is Commando right now.
Yes, Commando on Twitch he should have it too, actually.
We needed some sort of rank for them to be distinguished from everybody else because Commando and Twitchy are the creator of RF and the chief administrator. So I figured, what's a more flattering rank than a bard?
There are the ranks in chat, at least the top half.
In descending order.
If you will notice, we have a very beautiful color grading going on in Minecraft Division. I personally think it's the most beautiful out of all RF servers. Yeah. Somehow he would. He was no, I made Island Wars, and that's how it all started. Thing like that.
Which is very unimportant. Um, so, who? Okay, sorry. I had a question and then I like rearranged it in my mind. I'm gonna go back to how it was said. What is your job as Archduke?
My job as Arch, well, main job is just look pretty for Red. But then also, other than that, I just, help organize stuff. I kind of just mostly come up with plans on the spot. Like Red said, he will have an idea of something and will bring it to the councils so we can discuss it. And then kind of we just discuss it, we talk about it, but never actually make a plan to implement it. And then we're like, no, we gotta do this. And then I just get on and say, okay, we could do this, this, this. I just make a list, and then everyone kind of just gets in and fixes anything I might have gotten wrong. So I kind of just get in, start a conversation to actually get stuff done, then get out, and that's mostly everything I do other than start conflict between the great houses. And that's my other pastime.
Oh, I don't think we've talked about that yet. What are the houses, and what can you tell us about them?
I mean, I think Red should probably go about his own house, and then I'll go about mine. Because
Sure.
you gotta save the best for last.
Let's hear from Red about the second best house.
Sure. So we just have a post on our website that kind of outlines in detail what the great houses are. We have two great houses, House Redwin, which is ruled by myself, and House Celine, which is the lesser house, which is led by Moon. And the two houses are essentially smaller ruling bodies.
House Celine is better.
Excuse me. I think you're in my house.
No, you have some
so-
biased hosting. So, actually, I think. Are you?
I am not in your house.
You better
I'm
be
in
in House
Celine.
Celine. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I wouldn't ever host with M if she wasn't in Celine.
The
Exactly.
great houses, though, are essentially two miniature kingdoms inside of our greater RF kingdom. And they occasionally go head-to-head in competitions. We have events where they try to outdo the other, as well as during our campaigns. So there, Pookie just released a bit of information. You can read some more about the great houses and the greater of the houses, Redwin.
Okay. And also, yes, you can read, like Brad said, I would suggest you read that post. It's very beautiful. And, mostly lately what the houses have been engaging on is kind of a construction competition. Just Red made a castle for House Redwin to flex. And then I said, hey, House Lean, we can't let this slide. And we made a huge white spire in the honor of our moon goddess, which, just let's say this: House Redwin has a castle, House Lean has a big ass spire, has some lore, has its own language, which I made, and has the cooler people. So, yep, I mean, it's a proto
Well,
language.
House Redwin
it's kind of developed.
House Redwin has a 2-line theme song, which I won't make
Yes.
MC sing right now, but
Okay, yes.
You have a theme song.
That is something that happened. I made a language and started speaking in that language on Minecraft main chat, and then Red, to flex with me, just dropped 2 lines of a song and absolutely annihilated me. And I still have nightmares about that every night.
I'm so sorry for your trauma.
Overall, Celine is cooler, and if I can hear it for House Celine on the chat, that would be amazing.
House Celine is the better one, in my personal professional opinion, as an unbiased hoster. But now it's time for the big questions. What on earth is Minecraft? I don't know what Minecraft is at all. Tell me about it.
It's 2019. If you don't know what Minecraft is at this point, you're living under a rock. Minecraft is
Wait,
arguably
hold on
one
a
of-
second.
Okay.
What did Pookie say? Is M the moon goddess? What happened?
Oh
Pookie's
no,
the first
Pookie's just
video,
confused.
Classic day.
So part of the Celine lore is that there's a moon goddess, just called. I cannot pronounce it properly. I cannot pronounce my own language, guys. But it's a him. Is kind of how you pronounce it. And anyway, it's just like a moon deity. I don't know why
Wait.
he's going crazy about it. It's not you, not at all.
Why not?
It's not you.
Why not?
So anyway, Minecraft is a game about placing blocks.
Minecraft is arguably the greatest open world sandbox game to date.
That I would agree with. But what makes it so magical?
I like to describe Minecraft as just a game engine that can be played without anything else. And that's it. Because it's just has amazing, an infinite amount of things you can just stack onto it. And you can also play it by itself. There's a lot of mods, there's plugins for servers. And really, I feel it's just that, like a game engine that you can play without adding anything else.
Right. There are endless things to do. And I had a friend that used to say, if you're bored while playing Minecraft, you're not playing it right. Which is true. There's nothing that you cannot do in that game. Which is a big reason why I thought it was going to be a good platform for a new division. RF needed to expand to new games. I figured that Minecraft was one that had a good community and that we'd have the potential to do whatever we really wanted to with the division. So I couldn't think of a better game.
What do you think is the most impressive thing that you were able to do with the capabilities of Minecraft?
Personally or with RF?
Both, if anything,
Personally, I have made, well, that's hard to say, actually. I mean, I've run some servers in the past, and, collectively we've done a lot of cool things. But I am a big fan of building ships. I have a whole armada that I continue to build and add on to. I wish I had some pictures of it.
What do you mean, armada? Like literal ships?
Yes.
You're just building a bunch of ships out in the ocean?
Absolutely.
He does do that. He's very good.
In the sense from the from like the 17th, 18th, 19th centuries. Not modern day ships; those are ugly. But back in the day, sailing vessels were beautiful. They were works of art. And when I replicate them in game, they are even more beautiful.
I really wish we had pictures if you're gonna talk about that.
Yeah, I'll try to look around for some.
And what would you say in terms of RF has the division made that's our crowning achievement, besides your respective tower and castle for the houses?
It's hard to say. I mean, in game right now during our campaigns, a lot of what we're doing is nation building. So we come onto a server and we introduce ourselves and we try to start. We start in one town and then we work our way up. We try to expand our town, get new members who play on the server to come in to join into RF. And at one point, our nation, which after a short amount of time reached about like 250 members, which was over like a month period, which was, fairly impressive for that kind of game mode. You don't see groups that large. And we've also made quite a lot of towns over that time. Our current town, Vertaria, if Mish could get some pictures of that, it's quite nice. Came out even better than I expected.
He says... He's in Florida? What do you mean?
Wow, I'm sorry. I keep asking Mishka because he's a good guy. He does a lot of good work in our division. I kind of count on him.
Mish is a really good active member of Minecraft Div, from what I can tell.
Yeah. We love Mish. Yes.
When we're talking about Mish, we want to wish a happy retirement to Mish from the RPF. Mishka has been leading HCOM for quite a while now, and we just want to take this time to offer our biggest respects to the main man, Mish.
Yes, the main man,
still
Mish.
So sad.
You are in a better place now, us just being in the Minecraft division, period. You are better for it than you were before, and I'm very glad that we have you all for ourselves.
I already expressed to Mish how sad I am, but it's all for good reasons, so he's still around.
He's not dead. He's here, we promise.
So, is there any like special Minecraft tips you can give to people?
I mean, like special tips. I mean, there's always just the unspoken rules of Minecraft, like don't dig straight down, you'll fall into lava. Don't dig straight up, lava will fall on you. There's things like that, but honestly, with all the freedom the game gives you, just play it and play it a bunch and find out what you like to do and just focus on that because, it's about having fun. And you can do basically anything. So, I mean, okay, yes, there's there's some food that's actually mathematically better than other food, but you'll find that out as you play.
Knife
You'll get
Chicken, what a
hang of
good
it.
guy. He found a picture of one of my
Oh, that's
ships that I
nice.
made.
Thank you, Knife
Oh,
Chicken.
awesome.
Those are really cool ships. Please look at main chat.
Very nice ship.
for
I'll
some
try to
beautiful
find some other
ships.
ones.
Yeah.
Pretty
So, like
cool.
I was saying, the things that you can actually be good or bad in the game are pretty basic. You know, what to eat, what not to eat, what's more efficient, what's less efficient. All that you can just find out by reading a wiki or just playing. You know, really just put some time and find out what you like to do and then do that a bunch. That said, the game gives you a lot of freedom. You can do whatever you want. And it's just a beautiful thing.
Let your creativity run wild.
Yes,
My
exactly.
biggest advice is going to be don't die and don't let me get you killed, because
Em will get you. She will get you.
If MC ever suggests forming an adventuring party, just run south, go away. Don't do that.
What if the
Pookie
adventure
loves
is
south?
all these things because of
I
that.
never said you couldn't adventure with me. I'm saying don't let me get you killed.
She will get you killed if you go out.
She'll find a
That's
way.
the thing.
She
will find a way. That's right. Yes.
It's inevitable.
I got Pookie killed. It was pretty off.
Yeah. But you know, you can do
Anyway.
basically anything. Some of my two favorite activities in Minecraft: looking at iron golems. They have personalities, I've discovered, and they behave certain ways, and they
This
have
is
society.
ridiculous.
It's not ridiculous. Pookie was with me when we
No,
did
we're
that.
not. We're not. Is this
And
what I think it is?
No, that's all I'm
This
gonna
is
say.
ridiculous.
I'm not gonna start a 2-hour
Cut his mic.
segment. No, I'm not gonna. I like to
Cut
do
his
that.
mic.
That's just so you guys know a crazy thing that you can do in Minecraft, and I have fun with it. You can do anything, even just look at the mobs. And another thing, I just realized my dream of living a simple life, which, you know, if you have a lot of stress, like I do, you can just go and live by a lake and fish a little bit, and it honestly feels really nice.
Moondog. It's not real.
Hey, can you like shut up? What,
No.
what makes you
Minecraft is a
think
lifestyle.
that
Em.
what you
don't
think
impress
is
him like
real is real? You cannot prove that the reality you think is real is actually real,
I just
and you
need
cannot
to
prove
make
to
sure you're
me
not going.
that you are real.
He's
So
spitting
you know,
facts.
yes, I'm just spitting philosophy facts. I cannot speak.
Philosophy
But,
facts.
Yes.
Facts about philosophy.
Mhm.
Philosophax.
So yeah, I just want to enjoy the game, and I need you to get all the way off my back about that.
I appreciate
okay.
that feedback.
So, for people who aren't in the Minecraft division, what's the atmosphere like in chat in comparison to RPF?
For people who aren't in the division, well, I would say it's a lot more laid back. You know, we have relaxed rules as well. I know in the RPF chat, you have some restrictions on what you can say. You don't want to, you shy away from inappropriate topics or harsher language. And we don't necessarily have a lot of that, but we allow it more so than RPF does. And I think that the conversations are a lot more relaxed. You know, they're about whatever. It's not like it's a constantly flowing 5 messages per second like an RPF chat. But it's more laid back. It's an enjoyable atmosphere to make friends, you know.
It's more chill. Since the chat is not getting constantly spammed by whatever, you can actually hold a coherent conversation, which is pretty nice. And yeah,
I mean,
that's basically.
Yeah, I think that RPF does go pretty fast sometimes, and it's like pretty overwhelming sometimes. But you know, we still have good conversations in there. I think Minecraft Div offers the chance to like really delve into a topic, though, like rather than like speed round conversation.
Raider's got some pictures of those ships.
Redd is really into his ships right now.
Oh my god, you cannot get me going.
His ships are good, though.
He does very good ships. Just very
so
good.
Many of them.
Fish. What? Why did I say fish? Ships. God, I'm just jumped.
Look at that hot anchor on the side of that.
Oh yeah.
Ooh, yeah. Anchor. Looking good. Cobblestone.
Wow, Ray. Good job.
Hello, boys, and welcome to the Ship Shack, where we only talk about ships 24/7.
That is a total lie. I promise we don't.
This is also not called the Ship Shack.
It's
Do you guys plan to move to another server or other servers in the future?
Yeah, eventually. Right now, I mean, we're actually going to release a survey pretty soon to see what our current members are interested in. We
Yeah.
started with a survival style, which I figured most people will be able to do. You know, if you're not into combat or, you know, you're not great at building, this is a kind of game mode that anybody can really play. So we're definitely going to be doing some minigame servers, perhaps some miniature campaigns that last, you know, a couple of weeks on some other servers, other kinds of servers. But yeah, we're going to be seeing some new stuff pretty soon.
That sounds really cool.
It does sound cool. We can't let the boys just stand there and do nothing. We gotta provide for our people.
Provide
Right.
for your homies.
And yeah.
Yes, fun fact. There was a reset on the server or something, and after that I was really busy for a few weeks. And whenever I got on, I was just underground, and I never got around to rejoining our town.
That's brutal. I'm so sorry to hear that.
It is brutal. Yes. I mean, I could just get on right now and do it, but I just find a mine shaft and I'm like, ooh, I want to explore that, and then I actually go back to the town.
So do we want to talk about campaign?
Yeah.
Well, we could, I guess, because it's the way that we operate as a division is pretty different compared to RPF. You know, we don't focus mainly on events. In RPF, you'll have, you know, X amount of events per week, but we don't have events as frequently. What we do is we have campaigns, which are, as the name implies, we go onto a server for a prolonged period of time. Maybe, you know, it could be anywhere from like a month to several months, depending on what our goal is. So we'll set goals for ourselves, such as we want to build up a nation, a great port city on the ocean, and we want to recruit this many people during the time that we're there. So that's what we'll do. That's mainly what the campaigns are. We could have miniature campaigns, which last a few weeks to a month, things like that. But yeah, it's not all 30-minute events, you know. So that allows for people to come and join and play whenever they want. They don't have to follow a strict schedule, which, you know, goes along with a laid-back atmosphere.
It does. And for the people that do like just events, we also hold those every now and then. Sometimes we just dig a pit in the desert and make people fight, and that's fun. And other times people go to minigame servers, and that's also fun. And yeah, there's something for everyone. I think you should absolutely join Minecraft Division. Do it right now. Do it. Come on, I'm waiting. Come on, I want to see you. Come on, go join.
Join it.
You guys made me wonder. So if you're contributing on that kind of basis, where it's there's no deadline, there's no weekly events or anything like that. How do you guys end up determining your promotions?
Well, that's up to the task of that's for a task for our councils, really. So we have X amount of people. I guess they can go over what the councils are while I'm talking about it.
Yes,
so
that sounds great.
So we have 3 councils currently. 2 are the ones I guess I can explain their importance. So you could look at them kind of as the moderation and HCOM in RPF. So it's essentially a group of people who are tasked with managing the day-to-day functioning of the division. So they're usually the ones that'll go and, you know, if they're the most active members, I would say, on the server. And so, you know, we have a chart where we look and see who was online and when and how they contributed. So if you're talking in Discord and you're in game a lot and you're contributing towards our projects and whatnot, coming to the events when we have them, you'll be noticed. So
yeah, for people who are in RPF and don't really know how Minecraft works, you just gotta consider that Minecraft, by its own nature, is a lot, I don't want to say smaller, but there is less people at any given point in time. So, the council members can really go one-to-one and it's a lot more direct personal relationship that people have. And if you're active and help, someone is going to notice, right? And that gets you promoted, which, in RPF, they're much massive. There's a lot of people coming in, coming out, and they gotta just basically count the events you're attending until you get to mob, and then once you get to moderator, they can follow up on you. and Minecraft they just follow up on you all the time.
Do you
Vinayak
guys remember
specifically
when I
watches everyone all the time. Vin is always the first person to suggest people to promote.
didn't I get
We-
promoted for singing Redd a song?
Yes,
Oh,
you
yeah.
did.
Well,
You did get promoted.
we do.
Yes.
We do have some other ways of getting promoted by showing your undying loyalty to our cause. It's worked on a couple occasions.
Such
For
as that
example,
one occasion.
maybe we should get Chaos's video. I forget what
Oh,
Chaos
are you
did.
about to post that in here?
I don't have it on hand, but somebody can post it. Anyway,
Chaos got
I think
promoted.
I think most of you know him. He did something to shame himself, and I was like, Chaos, I'm going to fire you if you don't make up for it right now. And he said, okay. And he sent in a video of himself. What was he doing? I don't know. He was making some sort of pledge to the Minecraft division. He put a blanket around him like it was a cape, and he was wielding a sword. And I was like, that is dedication. And so I promoted him. And then
Yeah.
Mishka, since he's German, I had him sing 99 Luftballons.
That's a great song, by the way.
It is a pretty good tune.
Yeah, Chaos gave permission, so we will post momentarily.
Yeah, and like Red said, MC also sang a song for Red and got promoted for that. Basically, if you do something that's really amazing that really demonstrates your capabilities, how better you are than anyone else, or your undying loyalty for the kingdom, you will get promoted. And there's also another way. I'm gonna post a link. Okay, this is a game we like to play. It's called Hamburger, and if you get to the churro level, you get promoted instantly to one of the councils. Right, so you're gonna get to the churro level. It's very easy. You click on the burger, it hides. You have to find it. And if you get to the churro level, that's it. You're promoted instantly.
Hold on, I zoned out. Why are we talking about the hamburger?
That's how you get promoted. If you get to the churro level in Hamburger, I will promote people.
The truth
in the
is,
Minecraft
nobody
world.
ever passes those levels, so nobody
Yeah,
ever
you know.
gets promoted through that.
Yeah, I know it's really hard to even get past the first level. So the churro
Okay.
level is like the 10th
Anyway,
level.
that's
No one will get that.
I'm
conversation.
gonna
for another
redirect
day.
us back to campaigns. This definitely has been much more derailed, many derailments along this journey. But I want to go back to, we were talking about campaigns and what they are, and you described that. And we talked about promotions. What were we talking about that was related to that? The councils. I think we were talking about the council.
Yes, the councils. So we have 3 of them currently. Normally we would go with 2, but right now during our current campaign we see the need for a 3rd one. So we have the Royal Council, which is the top tier members, which is myself, Moondog, Raider. So essentially the top 3 ranks being the King, Archdukes, and the Dukes. So that's the upper echelon that makes all of the big boy decisions. And then, not much goes on in there compared to the minor council, which is where most of the action takes place. That includes some of the people in here tonight: Vinayak, Mishka. Who else is in here? Vinayak, Mishka. I think that's everybody who's in here now. But that's mostly the group where if I have an idea that I want to implement somehow, or somebody else has an idea, we go into there, we bring it, and we discuss it, see how we can make it happen. And that's also the group that's responsible for essentially running the division, other than myself and Moon and Raider. And now we have a Nation Council, which is which is a cool thing that I like, the Nation Council. We actually have all of the people, they may not even be in RF right now, but they're in our nation in-game. So the mayors and the vice mayors from the towns from within our nation will join our Discord and join the Nation Council. So any decisions regarding our in-game nation they can be a part of without having to be a part of RF.
That's pretty interesting. Those are like kind of like RPF has their own politics with other armies. You have your own other people and groups playing the game.
Right.
Does that mean you guys are the ones who are also deciding promotions, or is that just Royal?
That would be just the Royal Council, really.
Yep.
And you guys don't do it weekly like we do?
Well, sometimes, depending on if we're in a hot spot during our campaign, then we'll go and do it weekly. But most of the time, it's whenever we have a significant amount of people who are worthy of being promoted, and we'll just release them then.
that you're deciding who's worthy.
Yes, who is worthy?
Yes.
How long are campaigns, by the way, guys?
Depends on the campaign actually. Like Red said, we might have like mini campaigns in the future, which might be just like a few weeks. But the two we've had until now are just multiple months, so they're pretty long.
That's typically how it lasts on the townie servers. A couple of months, 2, 3, 4 months.
Okay.
So you might have 3 to 4 campaigns a year, maybe say.
Yeah, or more, depending on. I mean, we haven't messed around too much. We're a relatively new division, not even a year old, so we haven't had the opportunity to mess around with campaigns that are shorter, say a month long or a few weeks long. So we may see some of that in the future, but right now, we've been going with typically 3 to 4 months.
Nice. Have we had a chance to talk about the tavern nights and the voice chat meetings that are a specialty place on the Emcee Div?
I don't think so. I've actually not been able to go to any of the tavern nights.
Yeah, me
Has
neither.
Moondog been able? Oh.
I haven't. No, it's
But
we are royalty. We cannot.
we're
just
royalty.
mix
We
with
don't
the
go to those
peasants.
slum taverns.
I guess I'll talk about it.
I know. I do actually have some things to say about it. Rocket is a part of the division as well, but
yeah, hi, Emcee Div member here.
I'm also an Emcee Div.
Okay, yeah, but when was the last time you were in game?
Yeah, come on, be real.
Okay.
That's what I thought.
I run your podcast for you, okay?
But yeah, we do a lot of interacting with other communities that are on the server that we play on, the campaign server. So there will be nations or towns that aren't a part of RF, but we still have friends in those towns. We still interact with them. I think one of the members is here. Maybe no, I thought he was going to come. His name's Omnihydral. He's a good guy, and basically he runs a tavern in game and invites all of the server to come online and to come to his tavern to drink his beers and have a good time, chat. I think they go into voice channel, Rocket. Is that right?
Yeah, I think they do on occasion. There's usually an active group of people that are just generally in the voice chat. I can see some people right now in the server that we play on, but it's mostly an in-game thing. They're talking in chat. There's a feature where you can go on local text and just talk to people around you in the tavern.
Mm-hmm.
And it's plenty of fun, especially because they have a alcohol plugin where you can actually make your own distillery and you make different kinds of drinks, and it just makes you hate looking at a screen, but it's so fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is a big. I'm sorry.
It's a no. It's okay. I was just gonna say it's a pretty fun feature, and that's it. That was all I was gonna say.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Tessa,
What are the
has
meetings
a problem.
consist of?
Most of our meetings in the Discords, sometimes we have them in game for the sake of, I guess you'd call it immersion, I guess. But yeah, most of the Discord meetings are essentially just to sum up what we've been doing lately, to give the whole division an idea of what our councils have been talking about and some of the ideas that we're going to implement in the future, in the near future or far future. That's usually where we'll introduce national projects. So recently we've been, starting up a project where we're going to build a city inside of a hollowed out mountain. And that was one of the first places that we kind of introduced that to everybody, was during the meetings.
Oh, that sounds awesome.
Yeah, I was really excited looking back at the concept for that in the meeting notes.
Omnihydral is in here. I kind of want to hear what he has to say. Should we?
Ah, yes, Omnihydral. Free advertising. We were just talking about his tavern nights.
Yes, very fun.
Cassie, throw him the recording, and then we can unmute him for a minute. Tavern nights are so fun.
I would love to hear.
Yeah, that's a big part of what we do as a group. The interaction with people that aren't necessarily in RF, but who are on the servers that we play on. I think that's a good way to, get to know the other community, and if we so desire, try to bring them into RF.
So is Omni Emcee Div RF division, or is he
yeah,
another?
He is in our Minecraft division, but currently he's not working with the RF town. He's working in another town. He actually runs his own town, but he is currently enlisted in the Rebel Federation Minecraft division.
Okay, and so everybody's kind of invited.
To the Tavern Knights?
Right, not just MC Div.
Right, yeah. Everybody in the server that we play.
So how do you guys get the word out?
Well, I think Omni can tell you a little about that. He has a hard time.
I think we can.
Yes.
Welcome to the podcast,
Omni.
Omni.
Hey,
Welcome
it's great
to the
be
good
here.
fight. All right, glad to hear a little bit from you. Can you answer that question that I just asked, though?
How I get the word out?
Yes.
Well, I usually go around the community trying to spread the word. First, I usually tell my friends and try and get them to organize resources because these tavern nights can eat up a lot of the stock. And then, as another step, I head out to the nations. I ask for consent to advertise, and I advertise usually like 2 or 3 times, seeing if, at different intervals, like 1 week, 1 day, 1 hour, usually.
What does advertise mean?
I usually just post a message like saying, "Hey, come to the tavern night. We're gonna have a lot of fun. I'm gonna be serving brewery drinks, which there's a plugin in the server where you can get drunk, and that's brought more people together than PvP has in this server, and that's saying something."
Can you explain how that mechanism works?
So it uses like complex metadata wizardry. Like, you can't sell it through chest shops in the server, which basically allow you to sell an item by referencing its ID and specific metadata. Every single drink has a unique metadata tag, which means you have to actually serve them in this server. And you have to follow a set recipe, usually like with 2 or 3 ingredients of varying amounts, put them in a cauldron under a fire or campfire, wait through the process, draw them out with a water bottle, and either put them in a brewing stand with a special setup with glowstone to distill them, or you can put them in customly created barrels that work with the plugin to age them. Sometimes both, sometimes neither.
Yeah, it's quite the process, but it's a cool little thing that they added to the game.
Yeah.
So then, how are people drunk?
Well,
Then after someone just goes through all that effort, all that process, and you just kind of drink it like anything, and your screen goes whoop.
It's personally, I don't drink in the game because why drink in game when you can drink in real life? Am I right?
So why not both?
Amen.
Why just have your screen go weird if you can have the whole world go weird?
Yeah, your chat will. If you type something in chat, say "Hello, my name is Redd," then it might distort it a bit. It'll, I'll type it in chat. You could actually I won't, but
it works on a percentile system.
Right.
Basically,
so
each drink, the drinks have multiple effects and unique effects per drink usually. For instance, if you want to kill a new player, don't do it. This is why I'm a brewmaster. I don't kill players with alcohol. You can give them vodka, which gives them poison 3.
Oh yeah, some of them do poison you.
Just lightly tap it, and then they'll just.
I guess that's
they have a hard set value for alcohol. I've seen it waver by like 1 or 2%, but the higher up you go, the more chaotic it gets, and the more you should not consider logging out until it empties, because you can teleport randomly around or end up back at your home with your inventory messed up, etc. from being drunk.
It'll force your character around. You try to walk in a straight line, and it will shove you across the map. You'll throw up.
Wow, this is too real. I don't like it.
It's Russian roulette with jump boost too.
Well, I want to. That's not, you talked about all of the negative effects. You didn't talk about any of the positive things that being drunk does for me.
Oh, it's funny.
It sounds funny.
You'll wobble around. Things will be crazy. You can vomit a ton of soul sand, and eventually that will bring clients in the tavern down to 10 frames if they have a low functioning computer. It's funny.
God.
It's funnier than it sounds, because really none of this is too serious. Players never die from it, and typing in the chat, having somebody not realize it's distorted, and having an entire sentence removed and replaced by asterisk, burp, asterisk is pretty funny when you can catch it.
Oh yeah,
That's pretty funny.
I mean, it's basically like in real life. It's just, on paper it sounds horrible, but in real life it's haha, funny.
There is a famous strategy for getting drunk, or not drunk, undrunk very quickly. It is a very complex, very risky maneuver that only few can do. You want to know what it is?
Yeah, sure. Please tell us.
Jump off a cliff and die multiple times.
Yeah, that makes sense, yes.
It also increases your aerobatic stats.
2 for
Does it
1,
really?
honestly.
Yeah,
Yes.
falling is your acrobatics.
So I'm
There's
sorry,
also
if you just die
stats.
multiple times after jumping off of a big cliff, even though you're failing, you're still increasing a skill?
I mean, yeah, if you just jump off a cliff a bunch of
If
times,
you
eventually
survive-
you will learn how to roll.
How it works in game is it works off of the total amount of damage mitigated from either your acrobatics bonus or existing nullifiers like feather falling, falling into hay, or like falling into lava partially, more than one block. And that will contribute towards your acrobatics XP, which will in turn level up your acrobatics, make it to where you can roll out of falls, dodge attacks, and generally be partially invincible at the least convenient times, in my experience.
Alti,
Yeah,
be quiet.
basically. Jump a bunch of times, and then you learn how to combat roll. If you know metadata and stuff, it's not your thing, because what Omni said just sounded like Chinese to me. Just
Chaos is the real
jump good, and then
Yeah,
you
Moon
learn
is-
how to combat roll.
Moon is somehow an Archduke, yet he has like the least experience in Minecraft out of anybody in the
I-
councils.
I mean,
What?
I
Nudge,
have
nudge.
played a lot of Minecraft, just almost
He has-
never on servers.
He has a lot of.
You know,
good
it's what I
ideas.
said. It's what I said. When I play Minecraft, I just want to live this simple life and be relaxed, which is my dream. So I just kind of build a little shack and go to fish. Don't get on servers and start reading about metadata and doing great
I
things.
don't know how I started doing
Okay.
brewery, honestly.
I kind of just sit and chill on Minecraft.
So, Omni, thank you for telling us a little more about your tavern nights. I think we're gonna move on here a little bit. So, thank you everyone for coming to this episode. It's definitely been a little more unstructured, so thank you for sticking with us. Until next time, fight the good fight, guys.
Fight the good fight. This has been Rocket and MC Moon Emoji hosting to you live. Thanks for
From
watching.
the good fight.
From the good fight.